everyone, hope you're all keeping well and welcome to episode 13 of Off the Grid, the series where we take a look at tracks that F1 has raced at in the past and tracks that have never been on the F1 schedule and then see what they would be like if Formula 1 was to visit in modern machinery. If you missed the previous episode in Caesar's Palace, make sure to check that one out when we're finished here. 80 days after the checker flag fell in Abu Dhabi to mark the end of the 2024 Formula 1 season, it all gets going again this week with pre-season testing kicking off in Bahrain yesterday at the time of this video going live. So today, let's take a look at where F1 used to test in the not so distant past and where it raced a few years before that. Located in Jerez de la Frontera, 90 kilometers south of Spain's fourth largest city of Sevilla, the Circuito de Jerez Angelnito opened its gates in 1985, with the current Grand Prix circuit getting the green flag in 1994 with an FIA Grade 1, making it suitable for Formula 1. The main layout, the Grand Prix circuit, consisting of 15 turns, 9 of which right and 6 left, make up an undulating, high-speed circuit in modern Formula 1 machinery. Jerez will be the schedule's 18th longest or 8th shortest track at 4.428 kilometers or 2.751 miles in length, a few hundred meters shorter than its Spanish counterpart to the north in Barcelona. This therefore would give it a 69-lap Grand Prix distance, one less than in Canada and in Hungary. There will be 2 DRS zones available, the first from the exit of turn 15 to end the lap down the pit straight into turn 1. The second on the back straight out of the fast turn 5 to turn 6. One of the main overtaking areas around here is into turn 1, with the help of DRS along the main straight. A heavy braking zone which is slightly uphill means that you can brake later than usual to get a move done. If you're on the outside, you can keep the fight going to turn 2, but the inside line will likely come out on top eventually. Though not an overtaking area itself, turn 5 is crucial to set up a pass, defend from one, or to maximise a qualifying lap. Not quite flat out, so getting the line right and feathering the throttle to carry as much speed as possible, also making sure to get on full power as early as you can to get the best run along the back DRS straight. The wrong line or a snap of oversteer on the exit will destroy your momentum until the turn 6 braking zone. The Ayrton chicane of turn 11 and 12 is the only difference between the FIA Grade 1 circuit and the FIM circuit used for MotoGP. The only slow corners on the track that aren't hairpins, and as it's towards the end of the lap, it could be easy to push a little too hard to try and gain that extra tenth, which getting right can get you close enough to get DRS on a pit straight or break the 1 second barrier and make or prevent an overtake. Jerez has been the host of 2 different Grand Prix. From 1986 to 1990 it held the Spanish Grand Prix, and then in 1994 and 1997 hosted the European Grand Prix. Both Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost are the most successful here with 2 wins each, Senna in 1986 and 1989, with Prost in 1988 and 1990. The circuit has also hosted F1 pre-season testing, which it did from its final race in 1997 up until 2015. These days it still hosts a round of the MotoGP Championship, which it has since 1989, the Dr. Valentino Rossi winning the race 6 times. F1 left Jerez in 1987 due to an incident which occurred on the podium post-race. The mayor of Jerez presented a trophy that was supposed to be presented by a dignitary of Daimler-Benz. This incident led to the track being banned from hosting a Grand Prix. During practice for the 1990 Spanish Grand Prix, Lotus's Martin Donnelly crashed at the fast turn 14. Donnelly's seat broke loose and he was flung away from the crash wreckage. He suffered serious injuries, and although never raced in Formula 1 again, Donnelly did eventually return to racing. Following this, a chicane, the Senna S, was added in 1994 for the track to host the European Grand Prix. 1997 European Grand Prix was the curtain closer of the season and the championship battle between Michael Schumacher and Jacques Villeneuve. Villeneuve from pole was overtaken before turn 1 by Schumacher as the Canadian dropped to 3rd. By lap 48, Villeneuve was in a position to attempt an overtake on Schumacher for the lead. Going down the inside of turn 6, holding the line and getting ahead. On corner exit, Schumacher turned into Villeneuve, his front right hitting Villeneuve's left side pod. Schumacher would retire from the race with damage, while Villeneuve, although damaged and much slower, managed to finish third and claim the title by 3 points. Schumacher would later be disqualified from the championship for this deliberate collision, which did not work out as well for him as the same tactic did in 1994. In 2005, the track was resurfaced to prepare for the Champ Car Series to race here in 2008. However, early in 08, Champ Car merged with IndyCar, cancelling the championship and therefore the race in Spain. F1 doesn't visit Jerez for anything anymore, which is a shame. I personally think testing should be at a circuit that isn't on the calendar. So even though the real grid is in Bahrain, let's see what the cars would look like if they were in the south of Spain. So here we are then on track in Jerez, coming around the final corner, this left-hand hairpin. Important to get a good exit onto the pit straight as we open DRS for the first time around this lap. Up the hill then, braking just before the curb into turn 1, down into third gear, fourth is probably best, and then trying to get on the power early, but it is easy to lose the back end on the curb on the exit of turn 1 as it is through turn 2. Coming out of turn 3 now into turn 4, flat out left-hander, and then into the very important turn 5. Fifth gear, throwing it in with a lot of speed and carrying as much speed as you dare onto the back straight, opening the DRS and ideally want to stay out of the grass on the left hand side before braking into turn 6 at the 100 meter board. Down into third gear, using all the road on the exit, flat out through turn 7 and then into turn 8. Down just one gear should be in here again, carrying a lot of speed and using all the road on the exit as we head into the technical part of the track with a double right hander off turn 9 and turn 10, and for both of these using all the curb on the exit, then into the Senna S chicane, down into second gear, further right and then the left, opening up the exit which is flat out through the kink of the right hander and continue flat out then up to the final turn. Braking around 100 meters out, don't get the greatest line on this lap, but more focus on getting a good exit to once again open the DRS, and that is a lap around the Jerez circuit. So after doing a couple of laps around this track, I think it's kind of similar to what Qatar is these days. It's just a lot of very high speed corners and then a couple of not even slow hairpins or slow turns, kind of medium speed, just to kind of add a bit more technicality and a few opportunities to overtake. But overall it is a very enjoyable track to drive around, and it's very enjoyable when you get a lap right and you just nail all the lines through the fast corners and get good exits out of the hairpins and just get the best lap that you can. Fortunately, I don't think we're going to see it on the calendar anytime soon, even though out of most of the tracks we've seen on this series, it would be possibly one of the most likely since it does have FIA Grade 1 certification. But with the announcement of the Spanish Grand Prix going to Barcelona come 2026, I don't see them putting so much effort into creating that race just to move it back to Jerez, which one of the reasons I found when doing some research for this that was taken off the calendar as well was due to how difficult it was to get to, and probably not going to choose that over being in this middle of their capital city, as much as we would prefer to see these proper racetracks instead of street circuits. But anyway, that is it for this episode of Off the Grid. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you aren't already. But until the next one, thanks for watching.